Top 10 new manhwa to bookmark right now. There are a ton of great manhwa out there, but it can be tough to know where to start. Here are 10 new manhwa that are definitely worth bookmarking. These stories offer a wide range of genres and styles, so there is sure to be something for everyone. Whether you are looking for a heartwarming romance or a thrilling action adventure, these manhwas will not disappoint. Starting off with our number 10, I'm Not That Kind of Talent Chapter 8. This is the new manhwa that has just been released and it's really worth the time to read. Art is average, the story plot is really good, and the MC is really worth it and matches the story really well. Our MC, Dion Hart, is a sickly person who vomits blood whenever he's stressed. However, at the same time, I'm Count Hart, who has somehow been misunderstood and thought of as a strong person and thereby feared by everyone. Overall, it's a really good manhwa to bookmark right now. Number 9. I Regress to My Ruined Family Chapter 20. Another new release manhwa with a really good story plot. This manhwa got like 20 chapters, which for now it looks really good as it progresses. Art is nice, MC looks OP and gets stronger as chapter passes. Our MC was born as the oldest of a renowned swordsman family and became stronger faster than anyone. Yet, he could not stop the dragons, a great disaster that had appeared on the continent. He closed his eyes in my final moments thinking everything was over. He really thought it was over, but when he opened his eyes, he was back in the past. A past that was very different from the world he knew. A family that has fallen and was on the brink of a ruin. A family whose writing of divination had vanished, and a body in which no mana could be found. He will have to keep himself busy from now on. The great hero of a renowned swordsman family is back in the past in a parallel world. It's a really good regression manhwa to read out there. Number 8. Winter Special Lecture. Hangil, a high school student who hides his strengths and endures bullying from the Ichins because he is poor, sees people using goblin bats on his way home after the part-time job. After successfully stealing the goblin's bat from them, Hangil thought he would be able to live without worrying about money. Hangil, a boy who had only strength, enters another chapter in his life. This manhwa also has just been released with only one chapter, but the author will update more. Art looks nice. Story, I don't know how it will go, but it will be worth the read as we know. Overall, we should bookmark this manhwa for future read. Number 7. Demon Lord's Martial Arts Ascension. Our main character is the Demon Lord who started war with the angels and humans. A human hero finally managed to kill him. After some years, the Demon Lord is again reborn inside the body of a young college student. The student retains his sanity as a human and starts using the Demon Lord's previous life secrets techniques to cultivate and become more powerful than the rest of the hunters. This manhwa starts off pretty classic and it becomes more better as the story evolves. Its world building is quite massive with many dimensions and races. It starts off a bit lame with a lot of information slapped into reader's face, which can be a pretty annoying later on. When the main character starts grinding dungeons, it becomes better. Art is a bit inconsistent. Sometimes it improves a lot during fight scenes, but mostly it's above average. Main character has a likable personality and the side characters are written very well. He becomes overpowered in just a few chapters, so that's also nice to see. Overall, it is a must-try for people looking for a power fantasy manhwa with dungeons. Number 6. My Insanely Competent Underlegs. I like where it's going and it's pretty funny. The depths of the labyrinth that leads to hell where it's impossible to retreat. Gamers who enter the rank race of heroes and even those who were called to the absolute powers of a generation failed to clear the deep zone. Unless a miracle happens, all of you will die. Are you ready to die? My team members replied with the stern faces. Hoyun's rise to the top with his insanely competent or just crazy teammates in a fantasy game begins now. Another new manhwa with a really funny story plot. MC is likable, the story is funny and the art looks decent. For now, it's really worth the read, so recommended to bookmark. Moving on to our number 5, Blackside. Another new manhwa that has been released by Webtoon. Art looked really nice. As we know, Webtoon released only the best manhwa that got a great art style. As of the story right now, it looks good with 5 chapters that I've read. Our MC was hunted since birth for a burden he unknowingly carries. You must discover the secrets of his origins and his ties to a hidden shinobi world so he can come to realize the weight of his destiny of being the last hope, the last flame of humanity standing against an ancient demonic threat. Overall, it's really good manhwa to read out there. Number 4. I have a billion achievements. Zhu Chuan discovered that he could get an achievement for everything he did. Ding! Moved a wooden box, gained an achievement, wooden box mover, received God Tier skill, mobile fortress. Ding! You are the very first person to drink water in the game, gain an achievement, water drinking youth, and receive God Tier skill, water control technique. Ding! Opened a can once, gain an achievement, can opener, receive God Tier skill, duplication technique. Number 3. The Lady's Dark Secret. Still, the illegitimate child of a duke grew up under harsh abuse despite being the most powerful scientist the world had ever seen. All her life, she tried to earn the love of those around her, only to end up being betrayed and sacrificed to the devil. She suffered in hell for 600 years, but then one day, do you want revenge? If you want, I will let you shine the brightest. How? She suddenly heard the whisper of the devil, and still, her soul broken beyond repair, decided to take his hand. Returning from hell, she stole the body of the youngest daughter of the empire's greatest house of Garnet. Now it is time to bring devastating destruction to all those who betrayed her. I will take everything from my enemies and let them face the worst death. The story is promising and the art isn't bad, but I just couldn't get interested in it. I'm only on chapter 5, so I cannot say how the characters are. Number 2. World's Greatest Senior Disciple. A senior disciple from a countryside martial academy returns to the world's best. Dragged into a brutal political war, senior disciple Hyok Musang didn't return after the bloody war ended. No one knew whether he was still alive for 5 years. Upon barely returning to his hometown, he found his Dragon Tier Martial Academy being persecuted and destroyed by a third-rate gang. He thought he could live peacefully with his fellow members after winning the war, but seeing the miserable state of his master and fellow disciples, he was filled with anger and guilt. With the return of the senior disciple, everyone thought things would get better, but only for a moment. Things were still happening in his hometown of Yangzhou County. Was the war really over? The head disciple raises his sword against the dangers threatening his Dragon Tiger Martial Academy. And finally, number 1. Stuck in the Tower. A world where gates opens and master come out to play. Yunsu longed to enter the tower and take on the role of a hunter, but in reality, he works as a porter and meat shield of E-class hunters who are worse than gangsters. Moreover, he was taken advantage by these hunters to the point where he was about to die. As soon as he thought he was dead, he was summoned to the war, was received back from the dead, and began climbing up to the tower to become a hunter that he had been longing to be. Depending on how much coins one has, the towers offers them the chance to challenge it. Yunsu looks at the number of coins he has. You have an infinite number of coins. Then, I will awaken myself in the 100th floor and go home. Yunsu, who is stuck in the tower, begins his conquer. Overall, I like the story so far and it has a fun style to this. Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude today's list with that. But before we leave, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. We really work hard to bring you guys quality content, so a little appreciation goes a long way. Thanks for watching and have a great day.